hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakarakan. And on Street Talk, we did the political, social, and economics here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Now, joining me tonight,
Dennis Burnside.
Charles Thomas.
Okay, man, we got a lot to cover, but I'm on, for about a minute and so I'm going to talk about Ms. Griner. It's great to see her back home, even though we got millions who didn't want to see her back, but we have more who wanted to see her back, even here in the U.S. and in other countries. It's just great to see her back. And the ones who didn't want to see her back, shame on them. And for me, I'm just glad she's back.
Well, you know, there's a lot to this story that I think needs to be talked about. There were two prominent Americans that were being held by the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Whelan, who's accused of espionage,
Mm-hmm.
a former Marine, and of course Brittnay Griner, the professional basketball player who went over there in the offseason to play in the Russian Pro
Mm-hmm.
League, where she makes more money.
Mm-hmm.
It was a business decision.
Mm-hmm.
They charged her with carrying cannabis oil there, which is illegal, and she was sentenced to 10 years in the gulag
Mm-hmm.
for something that's mostly legal here.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, that's their law.
Yeah.
But when the trade conversation started happening with President Biden and the Russians, led by Putin, we heard a lot about how we should make no trade at all. That this is something that should be left to the legal system, and left at that. This is what we're hearing from the right wing. Then we find out that after Biden negotiates and he frees Ms. Griner
Mm-hmm.
for their merchant of death, this international arms dealer,
Mm-hmm.
we start hearing about how it's a shame that they left
Yep.
Paul Whelan behind,
Yep.
and,
Mm-hmm.
and why do we care about this athlete when we got this patriotic
Yep.
American? Well, what they were saying then is different now, because what they're saying now is they're pointing out that he was dishonorably discharged from the Marines, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was accused of dereliction of duty. He's lied about Social Security status and Social Security fraud,
Mm-hmm.
and wrote bad checks. And those same people who are now saying that were the same people who were saying that George Floyd should have been sent to prison
Mm-hmm.
for a $20 bill.
Yeah.
But, you know, the hypocrisy doesn't end there. And then we find out this morning that Donald Trump says he had an opportunity to bring Whelan home. And he wasn't going to trade him for anybody. He said it was a bad deal to get for the merchant of death. Okay, that was a bad deal. Well, let's look at a couple other bad deals that he had opportunity to avail. We had a American college student
Mm-hmm.
beaten to death
Yeah.
by the North Koreans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trump didn't say a word.
No.
All he did was bragged about his love letters with Kim, right?
Yeah.
That was his big love affair.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had 5,000 Taliban soldiers fighters rather,
Mhm.
who were betrayed. But I shouldn't say betrayed. They were freed by Trump
Mhm.
in betrayal of all the war efforts that we made in Afghanistan
Yep.
for years and years. And he gave up 5,000 Taliban fighters and didn't get anything in return,
Mhm.
other
Yeah.
than a missile that hit one of our bases, and he
Yeah.
didn't do anything about that. And then finally, you want to go down to the fact that after he released these Taliban fighters, he wanted to bring the Taliban leaders
Yeah.
into Camp
Yeah.
David
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah.
So the hypocrisy of this entire thing just never ceases to amaze me. And it all starts at one place. It starts with Fox News
Mhm.
amplifying the lies of Donald Trump so that on Friday they could talk about how Waylon is a worthy American and we need to get him home. And now today he's just a common criminal who we shouldn't be concerned about, and that Brittnay Griner wasn't deserving somehow just because what? She's gay?
Well,
She's black?
well, but see that's the thing, you know. That's the reason I said a lot of people here in the U.S. and other places, you know, hate to see her come home, you know, and for me, it's like she's over there, way away from home, don't speak the language, you know, and being accused of something we still don't know whether she you know she had this or not, you know.
Hey man, look, if you have to spend too much time evaluating why Brittnay Griner was held, you haven't been reading the papers.
Right.
There's a war in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And Putin is absolutely getting destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
His army, his mythology about the strong Russian bear has been put to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a chip that he could use, a little bit of leverage by imprisoning Griner, that he could try to leverage into some concessions or a little bit less of a foot in his butt. And that's all it was. And that's the whole thing.
Yeah, and right.
White noise.
Mm-hmm. And right now, I know I've watched probably 5 or 6 different people, and it's like every one of them, U.S. ain't nothing now. Biden ain't, you know. It's like all of a sudden he brings this young lady home, and now the U.S. ain't nothing now. It's like they can do what they want. Biden ain't doing.
Keep in mind, let's not forget those same people who are saying Biden is weak for bringing her home. Those same people didn't say a word when Biden freed 5,000 Taliban fighters,
right,
and didn't get a thing in return. Yeah. Those same people didn't say anything at all when Biden betrayed the Kurds in northern Iraq, our allies, ostensibly the U.S. allies in the military. He betrayed them, put them under the knife. Nothing from the right wing at all. We didn't hear a word. So you get a college student beaten to death. You get Trump. You get people who don't say a word when the Iranians drop a missile on U.S. military tents under Trump. They don't say a word.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden they want to play tough as if we don't have a memory of what they're all about.
Yeah, I mean it's like
something you got to remember too. She is not the only person was brought back home who was illegally imprisoned overseas. There are several others that have been. You didn't hear any big thing about them. I guess because whatever reason. But it is known now because it came out just a couple of days ago. They were talking about these other people that were brought home. So what is the big thing? I didn't get all that I want, so I'm going to now make a big fuss like some old fool. And it means, Dennis, man, look, you say you study history, you ain't no good because your history ain't no good. You ain't no nothing. You know that kind of stupid thing? There was this guy, you go get your degree and come back home. Oh, that's a poof-puff degree. Everybody had poof-puff. No good.
Well,
until he got one.
Well, you know, we've got 61 or 62 people being held in different places. right now, 61 or 62. But you know, the thing is that to me, it will forever be a thing where you got millions of people who hate Biden because he brought this young lady home.
Well, that's just, I don't think that they hate Biden because he brought this young woman home. Because the hypocrisy of what they didn't object to before is too lengthy for me to believe that they're really upset by Brittnay Griner being sent home. I think they're upset because they're lapdogs and they were told to be upset. They don't have the analytical skills of this water bottle here. So if Fox News tells them to be mad, they'll be mad. And if Fox News tells them to roll over and get up on their behind feet, they'll do that. That's my point. If you can't get mad about missiles being dropped on U.S. military and no response under Trump, if you can't get mad about a college student being beat to death by the North Koreans, and they didn't get mad about that, if you can't get mad about, Fox News pro-war, they couldn't wait to go to war in Iraq, right? And so our allies, the ones who helped the United States fight that war, are betrayed by Trump, and they don't have anything to say. My point is, all these things that stack up to real issues, geopolitical issues, don't upset them. Brittnay Griner really didn't upset them. They just got the marching orders into the empty head to be upset about this particular issue, a black gay woman being traded for, and it hits right into their Christian nationalistic movement that, she's black, she's gay, we ought to hate her, and we wasted a opportunity here. That's what they hate.
Definitely. And the thing is that, like you were saying, it's really, man, it's really a thing known. You got these people who anything that Biden do, they ain't gonna, it's gonna be it's gonna be some backlash. It's like gonna be.
It's only going to get worse. Yeah. Because just now is 2024, believe it or not. Few months from now, they start campaigning for 24. And they are worried that they don't have anybody. They still have Trump to deal with. They cannot win with him. They cannot win without him, because this booger. If he doesn't have the full sway, he is going to get his supporters, let's say about 30% of the Republicans, who will not go out to vote, which means Republicans lose again. Yes, so they need to get to a point where they can see, hey, let's look at this thing properly, and then we determine where we are going. They don't even have it in them to say that.
Well,
they just have to follow.
Well, right now there's three different parts of the Republican thing. You got the far right, the right, and so you got all of these people, and this one over here is talking about, well, we have to get it back together, and the thing is that
they've exposed too
much. I mean, get what back together, because you see people now, all they want on the Republican side is to be able to make money.
Yeah, but this is the effect of Trump.
Oh yeah.
This is what they asked for.
Yeah.
They're getting what they want.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Sometimes people get the kind of government that they deserve.
Yeah, you better be careful what you ask for.
They're acting like fools. They get the food.
Yeah, they got food on top of it. Yeah, he's the cherry. Yeah.
And I look at it a little bit differently. I don't think it's what they ask for. I think it's what the base wants.
Yeah.
The Republican leadership thought that they could use Trump. I really do believe that, because all they're about is tax cuts for the wealthy, right?
Yeah.
They're for end of regulation, so they could pollute.
Screw the environment.
Yeah, ad nauseum. They don't want to pay taxes, and they want to be free of any regulations whatsoever that make some of their malfeasance illegal. That's what they're really about. That's what the Republican Party about.
Well,
So in order to get enough people to vote for them, they tapped into this vast reservoir of racial and sexual hatred out here. And so they did it with Bush. They did it with Reagan. They really started with Reagan.
Yeah.
They did it all the way up to Bush Jr. They did it with, and they did it again with Trump. I'm talking about their winning presidential candidates. But Trump came out there, and he really was about the grift. He was only about it. He was in it for himself.
Yeah.
And as racist as his base is, he's every bit as racist too. So for them, it was a marriage made in heaven. But for the people who are at the top of the party, they're not getting what they wanted out of it.
Right.
And so now they're in a pickle. Do you go with a central moderate, the kind of Republican who's called a rhino now, Republican name only, like say, I don't know, Mike Pence? Or do you go for Trump light, somebody like the governor of Florida, DeSantis, and somebody who got an IQ above room temperature but still is just a sinister? But does he have the charisma to carry the base? And then, of course, you got Trump there, who the base can't wait to see get back there, but he's got legal problems. And so, yeah, they are in a pickle. But I don't think it's because the base, the Republican Party asked for that. I think the base asked for that.
Well,
but it was door 1, 2, or 3, and they chose that. That's the
They
door
chose the fourth.
okay, I believe that, but what I see is that many of Americans out here on Trump's side, in the middle, and the far right is on the Trump side. So to me, when we do see the people step out for the 224 election, we're going to see 4 or 5 people.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What was Trump's approval rating after his second impeachment among Republicans? It was 88%.
And
what was his approval rating after he was found to have stolen classified, highly classified, top secret documents?
Some of which
What
is still out.
what was his rating among Republicans after that was divulged?
Well, right.
Over 80%.
Well, right now.
So you talking about these other two little small segments? I don't see it, man.
Well,
I got a question. What can we do as a people to benefit from this chaotic situation?
Run somebody against them and win. Just like what happened in 2020.
well, right now, speaking of, we don't know where Biden's going to run again.
He's
And,
thinking about it.
But think
Well-
about it, man. Trump
well-
lost the executive office, right?
yep.
Okay. He lost the House.
Mm-hmm.
He lost the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want anybody else to run? Let him run.
Well,
He's a loser.
well,
He's the best thing. That's the answer to your question.
Well-
What do we do as a people? We let Trump run again. Yeah, go ahead, Fox News.
Well,
Get them hee-haws all geared up to run for
well,
Trump out there. Please, put him out there.
he's already running again. So
I'm afraid what that
He
food
said
is.
he's going to run.
well, he's
Well,
out there
declared.
now. He's out
He
there.
may not be able to. The man might be in prison. By
Oh,
then.
that's something, man, that everybody can talk about, but until they do arrest him, I say he'll never be arrested.
Because he's white, he ain't going nowhere. He should
know,
be already in.
Yeah, he should be, but to me, they'll never arrest him.
No.
He's going to be like right now. They're talking about.
He should have got impeached.
He did
Well,
get
yeah,
impeached.
but
He got impeached twice.
He should have stuck. He should have kicked him out. Like they did Nixon.
well,
Well, Nixon didn't get convicted either.
they
We got to be true to history, man.
They pardoned him. But
Well-
No.
for pardon.
Nixon resigned.
Yeah.
Nixon was about to be impeached, and Nixon was pardoned for his crime, which meant that any effort to impeach him was moot. There was no crime.
Couldn't do anything.
Okay.
Right.
Now with Trump was impeached twice. He wasn't convicted because you had a Senate-controlled
Yeah.
Republican,
Right.
a Senate-controlled.
But that just tells you how tricky they are.
yeah,
That's
but
not tricky.
but
That's just lacking ethics, man. Because
Yeah.
you got a man who
It's unlawful.
who
Well-
on 2 separate occasions was caught red-handed.
Yeah.
They couldn't defend it. They didn't even try to defend it. You didn't see them present a defense in the Senate.
But look at right now. All these things, and to me, he'll never.
But see, that's opinion. But that's not factual. It could turn out to be factual. To your point, he could never see a day behind. But right now, man, he's looking very, very shaky in the state of Georgia. He's looking very shaky in the state of New York.
There's
And
two
now-
things on in New York.
Civil
it's
and
two. Yeah.
civil and legal.
Yeah.
Civil and-
And on top of
Yeah.
that, now you've got the DOJ on the verge, as it looks, as if they're weighing an indictment of Trump. An indictment comes, that's the same thing as me and you being arrested. So all this stuff about he ain't gonna get it, I don't see that. I think there's a very good chance Trump could see justice.
Yeah, I'm saying he should have got it by now.
Well,
If it had been Obama, he'd have got it.
what do you say? What you saying, Patrick?
This special prosecutor that they got the other day,
Jack
he's
Smith.
focusing on Trump, and he's a no nonsense. As a matter of fact, you'll be surprised to know how far into Trump he is right now.
Did he ever give his tax papers up?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He
6
turned
years.
over. He turned over 6 years.
Yeah.
And again, in Georgia, you've had Rudy Giuliani compelled to testify. You've had Miss Lindsey Graham
Yeah.
compelled to
Yeah.
testify.
Under oath.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've had. They're not doing this just because they don't have anything else to do. So let's bring somebody in and have a conversation.
Yeah.
So the idea that Trump won't face justice is belied by the facts on the ground. Now, ultimately, it could turn out that he isn't indicted. But I think you got more than a 50-50 chance in Georgia and with the DOJ, and maybe a 30% chance in the state of New York for his tax malfeasance. Trump's in a hell of a lot of trouble, man.
Yeah.
New York is coming back. They didn't include him in the case that just culminated the other day. They were using that, and they're going to get the information they want through that case to be able to throw the book at Trump, and it has to stick.
Well, look, they found some more stuff that he had at his place.
Some
But-
story,
Yeah.
someplace.
Yeah.
But, storage.
Yeah, but you know, until he goes to jail, I'm still saying
That's-
you know.
That's the double standards with America. If, like I said, if that was Obama, it would have been an open and shut situation. But because he's white, they tiptoeing on rice paper.
Yeah, it ain't just because he's white, because if it had been Hillary Clinton, they'd have threw her in jail with
Yeah.
quickness.
Yeah, but it's because
She would have been in jail long ago.
Yeah.
because it's Trump, you know, because it's Trump, and he placed these lawyers in different places, not the lawyers, but these judges in different places, and
That hasn't
You
helped
guys
him.
got to understand.
That hasn't helped him at all.
It helped him.
Something you got to understand.
No, it hasn't helped him at all. The
Trump
Supreme
has
Court, from the Supreme Court down through the federal court, every case that Trump has had on his tax issue, on the espionage issue, on the voting malfeasance thing in Georgia, he's had Trump-appointed federal judges rule against him. The one exception was Cannon,
Yeah.
who said we're going to put a special master in there to handle these documents. It took it away from the DOJ, and now she's ostracized because it's been reversed, and now her legal career is in peril.
Yep.
You think the rest of these federal judges want to go down forever for Trump just because this fool did?
Yeah.
So I think it's the opposite of what you say. I think Trump, being as ignorant he is, he thought it was going to be a quid pro quo. It's like, Chuck, you my man, right? Yeah, man, I'm your dog.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on this federal court.
right.
You know what you need to do, right?
Right,
Wink,
yeah,
wink, wink.
yeah.
And your boy say, yeah, man, I got you.
I got
And then he gets on there.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I ain't giving up this cuss
Right.
job for you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what's being going out. They're sticking to the law. The one exception was Judge Cannon.
Yeah.
And now she's out there on her own. And she's probably going to have some bar hearings. You know, it's looking bad for her.
Mhm.
So I think Trump, man, he's been walking on thin ice
Yeah.
for a very long time.
And I think they're tired of him too.
Yeah, man, he's really
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
idiot is being kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem with Trump, he been through the rope so many times, and he sort of like it gets off with a little tap on the hand.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's going to do whatever he wants and nothing.
Yeah.
But he's making a mistake. He's calculating this whole thing wrong. Because by now we should, oh, it's political, it's political. No, man, what you did is not political. That's your dirty habit.
Absolutely.
And it was revealed. And they're going to continue. And listen, the other day I listened to a judge calling out some sentences on this guy. I didn't get the name of the guy. There were some 70-something, 80 different charges. And when you total up all these, I think it was 6 life sentences consecutively. Wait, no, sorry. Not consecutively. They didn't give them consecutively. So he has to finish one, then begin the other one.
Yeah, that's consecutive. Concurrently means you serve them all at the same time.
Yeah.
You're right. I had the right word. Consecutive, one after the other.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he has a whole set of other things over 1,000 years. So, now the question I have, if you finish one life sentence, that means you're dead, right? You're in there till you die.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Richard Pryor addressed that, man. Richard Pryor told a joke about that back in the 70s. He said, you get that double life, you go to jail, you die, you come back and you in kindergarten somewhere, and they say, oh no, bring your little butt on out of there. You know what you did last time. That's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I want to know, man.
Yeah.
This guy coming back 5 times more to repeat the life sentence and then start the 100 and something.
Yeah, as soon as they hit kindergarten, you put them back in jail.
Yeah, or get somebody, a baby out of the bloodline, put him in there.
Well, we got 2 minutes. What do you think about the lady from Arizona? Now she's a independent.
But she's Christine Sinema is corrupt.
Yeah.
She's corrupt.
Yeah.
She's in it for herself.
Yeah.
Money.
And I think that she saw that with the Democrats having a 51 seat majority, she was irrelevant.
Yeah.
She could try to hold up a bill, and she could try to do this or that, and it wouldn't matter because they had the 50th vote that they needed. I think she thought that she could leverage her party a little bit better by going independent. But what she won't do, she won't give up her committee assignments.
Right.
That's what's plum. And so by her being caucusing with the Democrats, you have 51 in effect, and you got 51 with 2 unreliable, corrupt senators, and that's Joe Manchin and Christine Sinema.
Yeah.
So it really hasn't changed all that much.
So she's standing up for money.
And she's all about the money.
Yeah, well, you know.
She's saying she's going to keep her Senate committee.
Yeah.
Now, does she have the right to say she's keeping it, or does Chuck have the right to take her?
Well, Chuck Schumer wants to keep her on the committees because if you don't, then she could function as a true independent and caucus with the Republicans, and they'd have the damage.
Yeah.
So she's enabled herself to continue her grift.
Right. Yeah.
That's what she's done.
Yeah, her constituents is going to take care of her.
Oh, they hate her.
Yeah.
They hate her in Arizona. She's less than 40% approval rate. They're already talking about we want a primary against you anyway. Her leverage is those committees and staying relevant by being in it but not of it.
Yeah.
That's where she's
and the other thing is when she went into office, she had $62,000 in her bank account.
Yeah.
Now she's got more than $2 million.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to be it for us tonight. But my name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and we catch you down the next block for more Street Talk. Peace.
Peace.
Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.